Oh man, I knew I shouldn't have parked the Mercedes here last night. Man, that storm blew the tree down on it. Oh man, Mercedes is gonna kill me. Ah man, looks like the roof's caved in too. Well, let's do a little magic. Abracadabra. Kaboom. No, I want the tree to disappear, not the car. Oh, I kind of screwed this up, didn't I? Where'd the car go? Oh, there it is. Well, I guess it worked after all. So we're testing the 2014 Mercedes-Benz E350. Originally I ordered a sedan, but they ambushed me and sent me this wagon. That's okay, it's got lots of good storage ability. Under all these boxes, you have a nice set of kiddie seats. Put the little monsters in the back where they can't bother you, and they'll sit there and get a nice view of the rear. By the way, this has the 4MATIC four-wheel drive system for driving on slick roads. Works quite well. This is powered by a 3.5 liter V6, putting out 302 horsepower. It hooked to a 7-speed automatic transmission with power shifters. Gas mileage is rated at 19 to 26 miles per gallon, and I'm getting 20 in mixed city driving right now. The interior is laid out well. We have a nice gauge cluster. Pretty simple look-alike buttons for the radio and navigation. A simple control knob that usually works, but sometimes doesn't for me. Maybe I'll figure it out later. Glove box size is only average, but it will do, especially if you take that big thick owner's manual out. Now usually I don't talk about the price till the end, but I think I'm going to start here. $58,600, but all these options, $720 for the silver paint on the outside, $360 for a sport steering wheel, and then they got the wheels and the navigation and the 360-degree cameras and on and on. I'm not going to read this all because we'll be here all day. Let's just say it's ended at $70,215. What a deal. And $1,200 of the option pack includes this 360-degree camera system that gives a bird's eye view from the top. I think it's worth $1,200. I think this is really neat. Great for parking or going off-road. See everything that's around the vehicle. Money well spent, I'd say. This V6 has lots of power, but I have to be careful here. I have a lot of gear in the vehicle. I don't want it flying all over the place. But it does haul. Very, very nice brakes too. Nice and firm the way it should be. The tire pressure requirements on this vehicle are extremely high. 35 pounds in the front and 48 pounds in the rear. But even so equipped, the ride is very smooth. Very comfortable. I was very surprised. Add to that quick steering and nice handling, this is a very nice vehicle to drive quickly around corners. And comfortable too, you can't beat that. But then that's what you're paying for, I suppose. Oh, this is fun. So I'm out here shopping at Fry's. Where is my vehicle? You gotta be kidding me. Another tree? I think this car's jinxed. I can't believe this. Ah, holy crap, Mercedes is gonna be pissed. Just for documentation purposes, the car is fine, doesn't have a scratch. Just letting everybody know. Now this car has three odd features that take some getting used to. Number one, on the computer we have the estimated range, which bounces around like a ping pong ball. Yesterday I got up, it said 375 miles, then 2 minutes later it went down to 310 miles, and then a few minutes after that it went down to 280 miles, and then a few minutes after that it jumped up to 320 miles. Now I'm down to 165 from 250 after driving 10 miles. So I'm not sure if this is just inaccurate, or it's so accurate it gives you the exact millisecond and millimiles per gallon per whatever. In any case, I'm not really sure how many miles I have left on this. Number 2, we have something called the Eco mode. It slows the car's performance down, turns the engine off at stoplights, things like that, as if someone who pays $70,000 for a car is worried about saving 10 cents worth of gas. This wouldn't be a problem if you could turn it off permanently, but you can't. Every time you restart the car, it comes on, you have to re-push the button and turn it off. It's kind of annoying, but you just have to live with it. And number 3, a feature we find on a lot of German cars, as well as Mercedes, this outside body panel under the door, which serves no purpose other than to collect dirt. It's been raining all week, there's mud everywhere. Mud on here, getting on my pants. This is nothing but hollow plastic. It really shouldn't be here. And remember, 40% of Mercedes buyers are women, and trust me, if a female dresses up with white pants to get this on their legs, they're not too happy. Minor gripes aside, the Mercedes E350 is a pleasure to drive. You got plenty of power with that 7-speed automatic. Steering has great feel, brakes great feel. Corners, stays on the road very well. A nice car for long trips with very, very good seats, I might add. Just to show you I'm not making things up, just 5 minutes ago I showed you the range on this was 165 miles. I've only driven 4.5 miles, and now it jumped up to 220 miles. Go figure. One of the options we had on this vehicle was the $1,500 light package. Not only does it include some very bright bulbs, but the swivel headlights turn with the steering wheel, so it's very handy in tight corners. If you do a lot of driving at night, I would say this is a very good investment. Now here's an interesting feature this car has. My hands are off the steering wheel, see? So the computer is reading the white lines on the left and the white lines on the right and steering the car for me. So with the cruise control on, I can just sit back, take a little nap, text, watch a little TV, and the car, there we go, steering it again. Uh-oh! I think I'll get my hands back on the wheel. I like driving that way, frankly. Interesting feature, though. Here's my take on the Mercedes 4MATIC Wagon. I think it's a great idea. You get all the utility of an SUV in storage space and four-wheel drive traction, but we're dealing with a car that's much lighter, so engine performance and fuel economy goes up, all in one package. And this isn't based on any car, but the Mercedes E350 Sports Sedan. That means you're getting sports sedan performance off this wagon. Whether you're cruising at 130 miles per hour on a German freeway or taking tight corners at night by the lake like I was. From a consumer standpoint, I guess the only beef I could see with this car is the price tag. 70 grand's a lot of money to pay for a vehicle. But if you want that German engineering, you just got to pay up. Question of the day, would you pay $56,000 for a car with a tiny 2-liter 4-cylinder engine? As we take a closer look to this Audi A6, we might see why the answer to that would be yes. Now the base engine is a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder putting out 220 horsepower. Comes in a front-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive system, and a CVT automatic transmission. 0 to 60 is rated at 7.5 seconds and gas mileage of 25 to 33 miles per gallon. The price on that starts around $43,000. Now this vehicle has the same engine, but instead comes with all-wheel drive and an 8-speed automatic with paddle shifters. The 0 to 60 time on this is around 6.7 seconds and gas mileage is rated at 20 to 29 miles per gallon. For those who want more power, there's a 3-liter V6 that's supercharged at 310 horsepower. It's a real screamer at 5.2 seconds. I've driven that. It's a very, very powerful, fast machine. Gas mileage is around 18 to 27. And for those with big bucks, there's a turbo diesel. Only 240 horsepower is the rating, but it puts out a whopping 428 foot-pounds of torque and a gas mileage of up to 38 miles per gallon on the freeway. But it's going to cost you 61 grand to get that. I've driven the turbo diesel engine and it's about as fast as a supercharged V6, but like I said, it's a very expensive price tag, which brings us back to this 2.0 liter vehicle. With options, it runs around $56,000. Now, in spite of the engine's small size, this car has plenty of acceleration, especially in the bottom end when you need lots of torque. Plenty of power. Good brakes too, which is why everything I had on my seat just went into the dash. One of the biggest complaints with four-cylinder turbocharged or supercharged engines from German manufacturers is they sound like garbage disposals. Crude, rough, and noisy. Not so here. This engine's very smooth, very quiet. You wouldn't know it's a four-cylinder by listening to it. Very impressive, and that 8-speed automatic gives it lots of oomph too. The steering feel on this car is excellent, but it's also adjustable, which we'll look at later. And the handling is superb. One of the things I like about Audis is they use the same workmanship and materials in their $40,000 cars as they do their $120,000 cars. And it shows. The workmanship and materials in this car are outstanding. Very, very nice. Great seats too. Very comfortable. The gauge cluster is very easy to read and has lots of useful information on it. Now, I'm a person that likes simplicity. Very simple knobs for climate control, very simple knobs for the stereo system. Fortunately, we do get that on the climate controls in the Audi. But for the other items, we get a complex system of knobs and controls on the console. At first it looks scary, but actually it's very easy to use. The first thing we do is turn the ignition on, and your info screen comes up. Again, this is very easy to use. For instance, we press the car information. Now, by adjusting the center knob, we can adjust the steering and the engine performance and transmission shifting from comfort, automatic, high performance, dynamic, or individual settings. Very simple to do. Press the radio while the presets come up. Very easy to program. Or hit the navigation button. At first it's very intimidating, but after about 3 or 4 hours you can use this whole system. Like I say, it's very easy to use and far better than what you get on other German cars. Or even other non-German cars. Nitpicking complaints? Well, the glove box is a bit too small. And the space under this console here just doesn't cut it. Enough for a wallet. No big deal though. This camera is not made for night use, but this is the best I can do to show you how nice, well lit up this car is at night in the interior. Looks very impressive. Kind of like a 747. It's been raining out here in the mountains, so these roads are wet and a bit treacherous, but this isn't a problem with the Audi A6 thanks to its all-wheel drive system and good weight distribution. It's taking corners with ease. The road might as well be dry. I also might mention, with the 8-speed automatic in dynamic mode, you don't need the paddle shifters. The car shifts about as fast as you could manually anyway. In everyday commuting, the A6 is reasonably comfortable. However, on rough pavement, there's a lot of thumping and bumping going on down there. In my case, I'm pretty sure it's due to the optional bigger wheels and tires. No big deal. You'll get used to it. Well, the highway mileage for this car is rated at 29 miles per gallon. The best I got was around 26 at 75 mile per hour cruising. If you want better mileage, you might want to spring for the turbo diesel, if you can afford the $61,000, that is. About 30 years ago, Mercedes-Benz and BMW were the top German cars, and Audi was on the bottom. Those days have changed. Each year, Audi cars keep getting better and better, while the others keep getting slower and worse. And I think this Audi A6 is the best sedan in its class. If you have any reservations about the 4-cylinder turbo engine, don't, because it offers plenty of performance, especially with the 8-speed automatic. A very nice combination, and a very nice car for the money. I was very impressed.